Oh, made you laugh. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters guest. My childhood was spent in Tennessee. I grew up in Tennessee in a small town 20 miles south of Knoxville, Tennessee, in the crest of the mountains. The name of this town was Fort Loudon. And in Fort Loudon, there was a very famous war that took place, and it's one of the few wars that the Cherokees won. And it was between the French and the Cherokees. So now we call it Loudon, the town that never sleeps, the town that never winks. Everybody's always watching you, a town of 8,000 people. I had a safe childhood when I was young. My aunt and uncle lived next door to my parents, so I had all the love and all the attention of all of my relatives. That is, until my baby brother was born. So when I heard that I was going to have a baby brother, I said, I don't want him. And they thought I was kidding. I don't want a baby brother. And I stood by that. But lo and behold, Mom came home with my baby brother. You should have seen the look on my face when she walked in the door holding a baby. Right away, I had a plan. I would drink his milk and put the bottle in the bed. He was getting thinner and thinner. I was getting thinner and thinner. They took him to the hospital. He was always hospitalized because he was so frail. I would feed him bugs. I did everything that I could think of because I didn't want a baby brother. All the attention was focused on him instead of me. Everything was supposed to be about me, 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 me. I was supposed to be number one. Eventually, he became to be this tall, thin, frail, funny-looking kid. Big, thick glasses, real skinny, wheezy. And for me, I thought, you know, but anyway, he was an A student. He was an A student. And he had thoughts that other kids wouldn't have, and he wanted to go and do things that other people didn't do. My uncle told him that he couldn't eat watermelon because he said, watch your mom's stomach. She swallowed a watermelon seed. So Mom's stomach kept getting larger and larger. She was going to have our baby sister. My little brother thought watermelon did it. So every time somebody opened the watermelon, he would scream and run. We couldn't figure that out. However, my dad used to say, you know, Gene gets so excited around Christmas. Around Christmas, he's like, all Christmas long. He would end up in the hospital, behind glass, starting during the holidays around November through December. He was hospitalized, and that was usual. That was the usual at our house. So we grew up believing that my little brother was excited about Christmas. And he got so excited that he had to be hospitalized. And that's how we grew up. So Christmas in a small town. Imagine this. The whole block is marked off. Everybody is dancing, caroling all over the place, fiddlers contest. That's what a small town is like. But Santa Claus was coming to town. So we went downtown because my mom said, you can take your little brother downtown and see Santa. We lived in a safe town, so Mom dressed him up in his snowsuit and put his hat and his mitts on him, and I grabbed his hand and off to town we skipped. Along the way, my brother said, I'm going back to the North Pole with Santa. And I said, I'm going to help you do that. So we get downtown, and I look up and really, across the Loudon Bridge comes reindeer pulling a sled. Later I found out when I grew up that this man had a reindeer ranch. But here comes Santa being pulled by reindeer. And I thought, oh, So he pulled in front of the fountain, and there were hundreds of kids there just jumping up and down, but nobody like my brother. He was like, ready to go to see Santa, go live with Santa. Santa Claus said, anybody who wants to go to the North Pole, jump on. I thought, oh, here's your chance. Here's your chance, Gene. He took off, and Santa took him and some more kids, and he put them on the sled with him. And I watched. They drove out of sight, crossed the bridge, and as soon as I didn't see them anymore, I skipped home. So I walk in the front door, and my aunt and my mom are standing there. Where is your brother? I said, he went back to the North Pole with Santa. Alfreada, where is your brother? He went back to the North Pole with Santa. Because he did. In my mind, he was out of here. My mom grabbed me and she said, there is no Santa Claus! Where is your brother? And I said, no Santa? How am I going to have Christmas if there's no Santa? Who was this person? I was all into what happened with Santa Claus and all about me and my presents. Not the fact that my brother was missing because of Santa, but the fact that there was no Santa. But my mom came back with my brother. He was safe until my next venture with him. But you would not believe what happened. Years later, we found he had a Christmas tree allergy.
Oh, wow.
And we always had live trees, but back then everybody had live trees. So excited about Christmas? Mr.
You have great humor. He was moving over here to address this side of the audience and making great eye contact. She did several times stand and address the entire room, and of course added in the absolutely hysterical gestures and movements of her mother grabbing her shirt collar and saying, where is your brother? And I could just see her mom doing this, so she did apply the body movements perfectly there. And then she was also able to move over here. She had notes, but barely apparent to me. I know they were there, and I saw her hand lay on the notes a few times, but then she just boldly removed it and just went on with her speech over here and moved about the room perfectly well. So I think you overcame that fear, and you did a great job with your body language. You had a wonderful topic. I thought it would have been great when you took your little brother's hand and we were all in this picture, this story picture, and then you might have just, actually just skipped off to the, and talked about the big things you saw and the Santa on the sleigh, and used a little bit more larger hand gestures to make the story larger and more real. I think that's what I would have liked to see as just a little something to add to it. Your voice inflection of, what? No Santa Claus? Was terrific. It was loud and let everyone really get the feeling of what was taking place in your story. It got everyone's attention, I'm sure. And again, the humor was just crazy that you really wanted your brother to go to the North Pole to see Santa. What an opportunity! Yes, how can my dreams come true? Yes, please, go to see Santa, go, go! And then you just leave and go home. But it's just very, very humorous story. And the thin and frail, you gave us so many word pictures. The thin and frail and just barely could stand and had the great big thick glasses and the wheezing and all, and you really, really made the story come to life for us. Only thing I thought was a bit better of a close, and I really don't even have a suggestion on it. It just seemed abrupt. So maybe work on that a little bit. Otherwise, very, very funny. Thank you.